that's great. Welcome to Footnote and the A&T Bookstore in Clifton, New Jersey. I'm your host, Kimberly Austin. Our guest today is David Sarna, the author of the book, The History of Greed. You have, and like you said, you can't cover them all in this book. The title is interesting in itself because you talk about the financial fraud from tulip mania. I didn't know the Dutch were so scandalous, to Bernie Madoff. And also the picture that you've chosen for the book, is that symbolic in any way?
It is symbolic. I must be honest and tell you I had nothing at all to do with designing the cover, but I think they did a splendid job. As you probably know, on Wall Street, there's a saying that bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. And so there you have a greedy pig.
Now, the financial crisis of 2008.
Everything got lax, and greedy fraudsters had a field day.
You mentioned your grandmother in the book, and she's quite an interesting lady. And in fact, some of her expressions are sprinkled throughout the book. Tell us more about her.
She was a very interesting lady. She was widowed very young. She was left with 9 children.
Wow.
And in addition, she inherited a decrepit liquor store, which she built into a really fine business. And she had her 2 feet on the ground, and she had certain guiding principles. And one of them was that she stayed away from what she called Luft. Luft is the German and Yiddish word for air.
Okay.
And it kind of means ethereal business or schemes.
Right, and you say in the book that greed suspends disbelief. Is that what happened with Bernie Madoff?
I certainly think so. You know, they called Bernie and his company, the securities that he supposedly had, his account, they called it the Jewish T-bill. People felt that it was so secure that it was like a treasury bill. T-bills is the name for treasury bill, for government treasury certificates. That's how people suspended the belief. I mean, he was offering returns that absolutely nobody else could match.
Did anyone ever ask for their money along the way, or to take some of their money out?
Yes, absolutely. And actually that was one of his geniuses in terms of how he kept the Ponzi scheme going so long, because so long as you can take in enough money that you can use part of the proceeds from what you take in to feed or fund redemptions.
Welcome back. We're continuing our chat with author David Sarna, and we're talking about his book, History of Greed, Financial Fraud from Tulip Mania, the crazy Dutch, who knew, to Bernie Madoff. David, why do you think competition puts the brakes on greed?
Well, what competition really means in a free market is that there can be a lot of entrants, and everybody is trying to get your business. So if you're greedy, somebody else is going to come in and offer a better deal. So, you know, economics 1A is that eventually supply and demand are going to reach an equilibrium, and that's a break on greed.
Is competition healthy then for capitalism?
I believe that it is healthy, and I think that most of the happens to be better than every other system that's ever been tried.
That's right. Now, you also quote Charles Kindleberger in the book, and you say, "In a boom, fortunes are made, individuals wax greedy, and swindlers come forward to exploit that greed." What can we do in a boom that will prevent that kind of behavior?
Well, in a boom, people are making what they perceive to be easy money. In other words, they're getting more than what they had been accustomed to. The money seems to become easier. People have swelled heads. They think they're so brilliant that whatever they do is going to turn to gold, and they get greedy. So obviously what people need to do is to be more prudent in boom times, to recognize booms don't last forever, and that while it's probably okay to speculate with some of your money, if you speculate with all of it, you're likely to lose it, as happened in almost every boom-bust cycle in the past.
And people who grew up in the Depression remember that very well. Do you think 2008 will have the same lasting impression on people?
I certainly hope so. You know, I grew up with parents that lived through the Depression, and be able to learn from our experience and not be condemned to repeat what we went through.
Absolutely.